Hello, everybody, and welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the world you're coming from. We have folks from all over the world joining us here today at OTT.X, at Pipeline at OTT.X. As you can see, I'm coming to you live from outside a picture of the Skirball, where we might otherwise be if we're not in our bedrooms, basements, garages, wherever everybody is. We're going to get things kicked off today with a, well, first of all, I want to just let everybody know we have a fantastic program. We've got something for everybody, a trivia contest, a couple of consumer panels, great research analysis. We've got a leadership development presentation. So we're glad you all can join us, and we're looking forward to getting things going. I'm going to also thank our sponsors, 3Play Media, Latino Music, All Play, and Vistex for being a part of the show and for making it all possible. Thank you so much to all of you. With that, I'm going to introduce our chairman and the VP of Home Entertainment at Fandango, Cameron Douglas. Cameron.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day one of OTT.X at pipeline.net 2.0 virtual online conference. As Eric said, we do have a great slate of material and presentations for you today and tomorrow, put on for the benefit of our community of content providers, third-party services and service providers and platforms. And I actually did want to reference a couple of new members, speaking of our community, that have joined since we've last spoken. I'll list them alphabetically and welcome those who are attending in the next couple of days. British Board of Film Classification, Breaking Glass Pictures, Here Media, Kino Lorber, MVD Entertainment, MyBundle.tv, Passion River, Relativity Media, back and welcome to Relativity, SPI International, Tri-Coast Entertainment, 2114, who is also a new board member, VIX, who is also a new board member, Vizio, and Zumo. Welcome to our new members as part of the OTT.X community. We also have, since I am not just representing OTT.X, or Fandango rather, but also representing OTT.X as the chairman of the board, we can't do this and we can't put these events on without our board members. And we do have a couple of new ones there too. Here Media, represented by Paul Kollickman, who you'll see later today. Sony Pictures, represented by Jill Allen. And Vizio, represented by Catherine Pond. And Zumo, represented by Anthony Laser. They join our board of ComScore, Fandango, Sony PlayStation, Amazon, Go Digital, Google, Microsoft, Movies Anywhere, Vubiquity, Cinedigm, Premiere, I think that's it. I hope I'm not leaving anyone out, who helps us direct the day-to-day events and responsibilities of OTT.X. We do have a growing, I don't have scripted notes, but I almost said growing robot community. We are a growing robust community, not a robot community of members. I think I will leave it to Mark Fisher, who's likely going to talk about a lot of the things we're working on, have worked on in the last year. We've been busy considering that we're all in our basements. But aside from the flagship summit and marketplace earlier this year, there's obviously this pipeline event today. And the focus today is on research, learning, and collaboration. And if you haven't, all of you, obviously, if you're here, you signed up. If you haven't looked at it yet, I would encourage you to go back to your emails and find a note sent from OTT.X on Friday. The subject was Navigating OTT.X Pipeline 2020. So if you search for the word navigating, it should probably come up. That is a good primer as to how to get the most out of these two half-day sessions. The good news is that nothing overlaps. So I would encourage you to attend as many sessions as you possibly can. Each one has a little variety, and sometimes they're not quite captured in the name of the subject matter. I would encourage you to attend as much as you can and get as much as you can out of it. These are anchored by two keynote speakers. One today, which is Mitch Lowe, which as a Fandango employee, I will be very interested in hearing from Mr. Lowe. And tomorrow, Curtis Simons with HBO, HBCU Go TV. And so those should be good keynote sessions. And around 1-ish every day, there is a end of conference networking session as well. So I do encourage you to all, I know we're all having video conference fatigue and Zoom fatigue. This hopefully is a little different. Please ask questions. The format is sometimes awkward to do that, but we encourage you to use the chat and raise your hand and ask questions. Stay engaged, be inspired, and take notes, and hopefully do something different after you hear from everyone in the next 2 days. So thank you very much for attending, and I'll turn it back to Eric.
Thanks, Cameron. And yeah, it's different, but it's kind of more of the same. We've been doing this for a while. So yeah, we're going to do things to try to spice it up a little bit. So we've got a trivia contest, and by all means, use the chat. Let us know what you're feeling, what you're thinking, and be a part of the show yourself. All of the sessions are taking Q&A, so please put your questions in there, and we'll love to get you on stage with us too. It's not that scary. You just turn on your video, and here you are. It's also great to see so many, I was going to say faces, but so many names that I recognize. So welcome everybody. It's great to have you here. Next up, I just want to introduce our President and CEO of OTT.X, Mr. Mark Fisher, to say a few things to get us started. Mark, hello.
Thank you, Eric. All right, good morning, and first, let me wish everybody a happy near end of 2020, and a safe and healthy holiday season as we continue to endure and navigate these crazy times that we're living through. So when I got home from our last in-person event, our roundtables in New York City back in March, and started our first phase of stay-at-home orders and lockdowns, like many others, I made a couple lists. One for some of the work projects I've been putting off, like getting files and folders organized and a lot of back reading, and one for all the things around the house that I've been postponing, and lists of movies and TV shows I've wanted to catch up on, thinking that I'd have lots of time. Well, making lists was about as far as I got. I did get my personal Blu-ray collection organized, and many of them sold off on eBay or donated to charity. And I did achieve my goal of watching the entire Sherlock Holmes franchise from back in the 40s, and as many reboots as I could. But that's it. The lists remain. Unlike so many unfortunate people during the pandemic, I've been busy. The team and I have been working, just like many of you are, longer and harder than normal. For us, first and foremost, it was learning how to host effective events online instead of in person. And then it was how to keep these online events fresh and different. At the same time, Eric Hansen and the advisory council were crafting the foundation for our Leadership Development Foundation and the value that this will bring to our members' teams. Since we met at our summit only 3 months ago in September, we've launched a bit more. First, we took the opportunity to rebuild our website, and in doing so, finally created a firewall for members-only content, such as our library of on-demand videos from our conferences, as well as research presentation decks and white papers. We have over 70 videos available now on demand, and we're adding to the library regularly. And we have another 30 or so presentation decks available too. Second, after over 10 years, we revised the OTT.X glossary of industry terminology available on our website. Thanks to the help of Anthony Laser of Zumo, Jason Peterson of Go Digital, and Bruce Eisen of Eisen Law, and thanks to the the Glossary's original bones, built by Mitch Mallon of Stadium Media and the former EMA Digital Council. This glossary is so deep and so rich, it's broken up into 4 sections: technical terms, business terms, general consumer terms, and advertising terms. It's housed on our OTT.X website, meant to be a living document. We'll always entertain revisions and new submissions. Third, we built and we're ready to, in mid-January, launch a job board for our industry. Job listings are simple to create and quick to create, and the board will be free for our member companies, and non-members will be able to list jobs for a pretty nominal cost. There's no cost for applicants to access the listings or to post their resumes. There are lots of job services out there, but our job board will focus on jobs within what we've defined as our OTT.X community. And our Channels Council subcommittees, led by Eric Hansen, including Paul Collickman, David Bloom, Strath Hamilton, Narendra Reddy, and others who I'm sorry that I may have missed, have developed and launched our first ever Impact Awards, recognizing content and innovation in the OTT streaming industry that inspire positive action and promotes acceptance of and equality for all people. And the first recipients of these awards are going to be celebrated tomorrow. At the same time, our membership has grown. We've grown 20% over the past year, more than I can recall since our early days recruiting companies in the digital space. Actually, since we met last at the summit, we've added a half dozen additional new companies. And our retention rate this year is the best we've had in recent history, with churn less than 10% this year. And based on the renewal notices that we've sent out for 2021, we are certainly anticipating even better next year. And we're going to be making it easier for new prospects to try us out, and for any member who's having hard times to maintain their membership with monthly or quarterly dues payments, if that helps. Now we're in the planning phase for next year. Our board approved a budget for next year that includes nearly 20 events. It sounds like a lot, but not every event is for every OTT.X member. And not every session at every conference is for every individual within every OTT.X member company. But to make it easier for our members to navigate our offerings, starting next year, we'll be focusing our communication and we'll be clarifying the targets of each of our sessions, activities, and events. We're planning 2 full-on summits next year, including trade show booths, meeting rooms, as well as platform update presentations and announcements. Also conference programming, again, demo presentations and networking. 1 summit in March and 1 in September. We'll again offer online live in June and pipeline in December, and roundtables in May and in November. Our 2nd annual Leadership Development Foundation Summit is going to be held on April 27th, and our Heroes Awards will be repeated in June, and our Impact Awards repeated in December. We have a couple dedicated salons scheduled and a couple networking happy hours. And we plan to host some fun activities like midday trivia contests online once a month through the year, and a silent auction in January, culminating in an online wrap-up, which will be raising money for our Leadership Development Foundation. While we don't know how long we'll be operating purely online activities, or when we'll be meeting again in person, or what hybrid conferences are going to look like, we expect that sometime later in 2021, there'll be opportunities for in-person activities. But we aren't sure, A, whether they'll be large or small, B, whether despite vaccine availability and restrictions lifted, whether our members are going to be comfortable or corporately permitted to attend in-person events. And C, we don't know what operational precautions are going to be required in person. Over the next few months, we'll be exploring options from traditional hybrid conference, broadcasting the program to online participants, to hosting conferences outside with physical distancing to what I'm calling the reverse hybrid, where the core of the conference or the event is virtual. And we have small events of say 10 to 30 people getting together in remote locations to watch and participate in the conference on large screens and participate remotely. We're really excited about coming up with new and novel ways to keep our community engaged in 2021 and serving our members through events both virtual and especially being able to get together in person again. But we're not just about events. Our SIGs, our special interest groups or common interest groups, are already meeting and determining priority projects for collaborative activities, such as our TVOD SIGs Ultimate Movie Weekend promotion and other projects identified by our channel SIG and our supply chain SIG. And that's not all. Tomorrow, I'll address other leadership responsibilities that we take seriously as our industry's trade association. 2021 is going to be an active and productive year. OTT.X will be at the core of supporting the growth and the success of our community and of our ecosystem. And Eric, Steve, and I are proud to be the team that our board has entrusted to deliver its value. Thank you for your support, for your participation. It's your association and your involvement makes it better and better. So for those of you only with us today, let me wish you a happy holiday season. Stay safe and healthy, and I'll see everyone else tomorrow. Thanks, and back to Eric.